5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey
guys! Oh wait, I'll do the intro. I just wanted you to cue us in.
Should I keep this? I want to keep this in.
All right. Hey guys, welcome back to Two Mamas No Manual. We know it's been a while, but this is our season finale.
Woo! Yeah, so you're Leah and I'm Dani.
Oh yeah, but you know that already.
It might be hard to tell because our hair has completely swapped.
You know, like wife swap? We did hair swap.
Right. Which you need to, if you have not seen our first episode, go back and watch that because Leah had this hair and I had that hair.
Yep.
And we have fully switched because we want to turn into each other.
Yeah, well, we are.
We want to merge as one person.
Which, let's highlight that real quick. Our friendship has blossomed so much since since Realistic Intentionality, really.
Right.
That was like our first. But I knew at that meeting, I was like, this girl and I are going to be friends. Like, we just vibed so hard there. And then, being able to meet people and hold a conversation with them, which is not my favorite thing to do.
I was so anxious. Did you know how anxious I was?
During our first?
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because you were my third guest.
Yeah.
And you were my third episode, my second guest.
Okay.
And I was nervous. You intimidated me.
Aww.
I was like, oh my God, she's like a CEO and she's really like spiritual.
And I'm just like, I hope that I'm doing good things for how old I am. I feel like, I feel like this is the path I'm supposed to be taking.
Right. Comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so true.
Yeah. But it's our first episode. We were like, we are now best friends now.
Yep.
And
we locked in.
And we actually call each other and chit chat for things not podcast related.
Like the other day when I'm like, we've only been on the phone for an hour, and you're like, that's because we hung up and called each other back. We've been on the phone for 2 hours.
Yes.
So I'm like, that makes sense.
Yes. And also we talked about another podcast, Two Mamas Hot Husbands.
Yes, which is true because we both do have the hottest husbands.
Very hot husbands. Very lucky. Wayne was on here. Dylan will come on, I'm sure, eventually.
Season 2. We're going to do a couples podcast. So
yes.
Look out for that.
Yeah. If you want us to quiz our super hot hubbies on things, let us know.
Yeah, message us questions.
For
the husbands. No.
And our hot husbands.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
I'm just making
questions.
it all about them.
Yeah. It's also about us. But, like, Two Mamas Hot Husbands is so funny because it's like, we're hot also.
Wayne is trying to get me to pimp him out. He's like, grandmas would love for me to take them on a dinner date. And I'm like, he's like, just tell them, like, no touching, no weird stuff, like, just a companion. And I'm like, you're my companion, though.
Who wouldn't want to touch a grandma? It's like, come on, Wayne.
A grandma touching him is what he's talking about.
I know, but it's like, listen... Grandma's got them dentures. Get those gummies out, baby.
Oh my gosh. Extra for that.
Extra.
No, we're gonna dive right into this episode. We're gonna cut out the dentures talk. No old ladies.
No old ladies.
And we're gonna talk about how heavy this season was.
Yeah.
Winter was a doozy.
Dude, we both have been through a freaking struggle.
Yeah. Ever since like November, I feel like I was crawling under a rock because I just had overloaded myself for the past 2 years with events and people pleasing with my family and friends and just always doing stuff for others versus just trying to do stuff for myself. And, we've talked so much about self-care and different ways to do things for yourself on this podcast, but I think I actually realized what self-care is for me, and it's just like slowing down and doing nothing. Like, Wade and I have been playing a lot of Fortnite lately, and sometimes I feel guilty about it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I should be productive, like, I should be doing something for the cleaning business, or I should be doing this or that. And then I'm like, you know what? Like, everything is just...
You're allowed to turn off your brain and shoot some hot dogs, right? Because they've got the Fortnite hot dog costume, right?
Well, they're fish now. That's the new season.
They're
like fish and octopus and
Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah, that was old season.
Yeah. Oh.
New season just dropped. So.
I also have been gaming, Leah.
Yeah.
And I got into Animal Crossing again because if anyone that plays Animal Crossing knows it's like you go in and out of it.
100%.
Because it is a lot of work.
Yeah.
But I got the Happy Home Paradise decorator. And I have went nuts. I've only had it for like maybe a week and a half, and I've decorated all 30 homes.
Oh my gosh, girl. Go you.
It's horrible.
That's amazing, though.
No, it's not horrible. I am not shaming myself.
Yeah, we're not shaming here.
You're
allowed to have fun and enjoy yourself.
I'm allowed to spoil these little animals.
Yeah.
And, but we both have been kind of like, we both were bombarded. Okay, first off, we're in Pennsylvania. It was a cold winter.
Horrible.
A really
super harsh.
bad cold winter.
Yep.
And then you were super packed with stuff. I was super packed with stuff because you own a business. Mm-hmm. You are involved with your daughter Arya's schooling.
Yeah.
And like you have, you are hands-on with your business.
I do like that shift though.
Yeah.
Like I honestly like it. I didn't feel bad. It did take me a little bit to think about this because I was like, all the events like from 2024 to present, I've been like doing stuff for me, like for my family, but for me. Like the events like Arya loves. Obviously Arya's Enchanted Market is named after her, so like she really enjoyed that. But it's a lot of work. Mm-hmm. Like taking a break this year was like super smart for Wade and I to just like chill. But stepping into her school stuff and doing like PTC stuff, that's what I felt like I should have been doing from the jump. Like your kids are only like this age for such a short period of time, so like when I look back, obviously she's only in second grade, so like I'm right where I need to be.
Yeah.
But I want to do more. No, that's my favorite thing right now. It's just like
the calling to really engage fully.
Yes. Yeah. And she loves it. Like she's always like, I wish that you could come in for lunch more. I wish this, I wish that. And like now that she's in soccer, like we go to all her practices and the games are coming up, and like my parents worked so much when I was a kid, so they came to everything they could, but not everything. Mm-hmm. So I like that we have a schedule that allows us to be able to do that. Like I'm very blessed in those ways. Like I feel like sometimes I'm like, oh, life, like I'm so stressed out, like one thing after another, but then when I like really sit back and look, I'm like, I live the good life.
Yes.
Like I really do. Like I have a great family, a great support system, like the business is going great, like we have great help, like it's just I'm grateful.
Right.
Around.
Sometimes you get so filled with love and so filled with all these things to be grateful for that it still feels heavy.
Yeah.
All right. Good things are still heavy, if not heavier, because there's so much value to them.
Maybe that is like how I've been looking at it wrong, is that I am so grateful. So when like these little small nuances happen, I make them such a big thing because my life is so good, which sounds like so like, oh yeah, my life is so amazing. But like really, like I feel like minor nuances for other people are big nuances to me, and it's because I am so like loved in so many different areas of my life, like being a mother, like that changed me entirely. Like I was such a cold, like shrill person before I had a daughter.
We're reflecting on like who we are as a brand and as this podcast and stuff, and you're like, well, we are motherhood. Like even though we do have like business owners who aren't moms, and like or people that do whatever, or with sometimes episodes we're talking about other things because there is life, but ultimately the foundation of us is motherhood.
100%.
And it's like when we became, I'm a completely different person since like when I found out I was pregnant, I got sober, never looked back, have been sober ever since then. Which I was at that point, I was just like smoking and drinking, but and then I was like, I'm gonna homeschool. I knew that even when he was like a baby, I was like, I'm gonna homeschool. I'm in it for the long haul. Like I am ready to commit and stuff. And all of my life, everything that I've done in like production or just like moving and nonprofits and stuff, I've always been like, it is built around the motherhood.
100%.
The motherhood is the core of it.
I mean, that was a large reason why I went into entrepreneurship, is because you're in charge of making your own money. So like when you go to a corporate job, or if you're a server or bartender, like everything is just hit or miss. Like you don't know how much money you're going to make. You don't know if you're going to have a good day or a bad day. And you're stuck there not stuck there, but you're there for a certain amount of time. Mm-hmm. So when I was serving and bartending, I was there on holidays. I was there nights and weekends. So there was like large gaps of time that I missed with my daughter. And, it was great because I had money and I was able to fund stuff to do with her sometimes, but like it was hard for me to get off on weekends or to get off for certain things because when you work in those industries, it's so demanding on, you have to be here at this time, you have to do this, like these are not they're mandatory things when you work in a job setting like that. So for us, especially with the cleaning business and having help, a lot of our staff do have children, and I want to give them that flexibility. Like, they show up, they're awesome, they do an amazing job, and when their kids need off for spring break, they have off for spring break, and we step in, or we figure it out, because that's one of the hardest things in a working world as a mother, is finding a job that also understands that, like, motherhood comes first. And jobs don't care about that.
Right.
Like, I know someone who told me recently that their boss texted them and was like, can you balance motherhood and your job duties? And like, that's just so fucking rude. Like, I just thought to myself,
where's HR?
like how, like, I don't even know how I would have handled that. Like, I feel like my hot-headedness would have just been like, no, I can't, so I quit. Like,
well, considering one came out of my body and the other thing I'm paid to be interested in, yeah, I don't know if there's a good balance. I forgot we swapped.
No, that's okay. But also, like, who are they to judge what I'm balancing? Like, yeah, I'm involved in my kid's life, and I want to do things with my kid, and I don't surround myself by work 24/7. Like, that's a heart attack waiting to happen.
Right, and there's been things where people will straight up not hire moms.
Yeah.
Like, companies will just not hire moms because they're like, oh, well, what if your kid gets sick at school? Then you're going to have to,
then you're
like,
not going to be here. Which, as a business owner, it sucks.
Yeah.
Like, I get it.
There's
like,
no right answer.
There
really.
is no right answer. Like, finding that balance is extremely hard. Like, for a mom, I want to have off. I want to do these fun things with my kid. I don't want to work holidays. But as a business owner, I want the people that can figure it out, can find the balance. So, you're right. There is no right. There's no formula that's like, this is how you do it.
No manual to
no
like.
Manual.
No manual.
All around.
There's just no manuals for anyone.
Yeah.
It's tough. And so it's like, when you are trying to find that balance, it takes a lot of energy. Think about it like if you're on like a trapeze. Is that what they balance on? Like a tightrope, where it's like you put all this effort into trying to think like, how do I adjust my body here? Like, and you have to feel it out. And it takes a lot of mental and physical energy. And it's like trying to find balance with motherhood and all our passions and all our stuff and all of the rest of life, when life is so much more demanding in this day and age than any other time. It's like you're going to get exhausted and you're going to need to have a season of withdrawal and like hermitude.
Well, do you ever think like metamorphosis, like with butterflies and cocoon and stuff? Like, that's how I feel right now.
Right, because like, think about the very hungry caterpillar. That dude eating nonstop. He was putting in the work.
Yeah,
you know,
he was
the watermelon, the leaf, the cherry pie.
He was on a roll.
He was.
And then he burned himself out and went into his cocoon, and then boom,
because he did the work. He was like, okay. I ate a whole picnic. I ate a sausage. I ate an ice cream. It's like, now I have done the work. I know I can transform into a butterfly, but right now I gotta chill.
Yeah,
I gotta digest.
Yes, I think that as a mother, we are put in a box of like all of the things that we have to accomplish in a business sense, as your own identity sense, as a mother. Like, they're all separate, but they're all the same. Mm-hmm. So for me, like, once I turned 30, I think that like my mind opened up to like, you can be your own person. Like, you can feel this way and it's not selfish as a mom, and you can feel this way and it's not selfish as a wife, and then you can be a wife and you can be a mom and you can have those moments, but it's also okay for you to choose yourself.
Yeah.
And I don't think that mothers hear that enough. Like, I don't, like, especially in marriages, like, my husband appreciates me so much. Like, he is such an angel. He does everything for me just to make my life easier. But he also knows that, like, sometimes I need a little bit more than that, which is hard on him, because he's like, I'm already doing so much. Like, I already, I'm trying to help you do all these things. And then I'm like, but you don't love me. Right. Like, so as a mom and a wife, it is good to have those moments where he's like, it's okay if you're just going to play Fortnite all day. It's okay if you're wearing the same clothes that you wore yesterday. It's not lazy.
It's not lazy. It's not being a failure.
No,
it's not
exactly.
checking out. It's just like, I have to do something. And like, I will say with like video games specifically, they get you in a flow state where like you can just be doing this thing and get some dopamine, get some satisfaction. And it's easy. It's that easy kind of reward centering. And then you hop out.
Well, that's 100% what it is. That's what we do. Like, I wake up in the morning and I'm like, all right, if I play an hour of video games and then I take a shower and I do the dishes and I clean up around the house, like, I check those things off my, checklist, and then I'm like, now I can play another half an hour of video games or something. So I am balancing it out. Like, when I first started playing, I feel like I was in a more depressed state, so I was just, like, letting everything else go to shit around me. Like, we moved our bed into the living room, and that was probably like the biggest mistake that we did, because we just didn't leave the living room or the house or anything. We just were just chilling, so cozy. So, once it started to get a little warmer out, like end of February, I was like, we should probably fix this. But we were cleaning out our closet, so like all of our clothes was like on our box springs, so like it was just this whole big thing. And I'm like, people go through this though. Like, people go through purging periods, people go through periods where they don't touch anything. Like, you ever watch those TikToks where it's like, clean my house with me, I haven't touched anything in like a month, and they just I
love those videos.
Right? They're so great, but inside I'm like cringing, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, I feel, not cringing in a bad way, like, I feel for those people.
I just did that. Like, I just, like, this whole studio, which was so funny, I forgot we were recording today, and this equipment has been up for like a month and a half straight, and like Dylan has his backdrop because his podcast just launched, and like I literally was like, oh, I need to get this podcast equipment down, and then he texted me and you're like, hey, we still on for tomorrow? And I was like,
another day.
But it still felt so good, because I was like, I'm just not gonna touch anything, I'm just gonna like do my thing, hibernate and like,
that is what winter is all about. And I think that
it does feel good though to spread your wings, you know what I mean?
Well, also us as a generation, like, I feel like no one told us, like, hey, it's okay to just rest.
Right.
Like, it's okay to just, like, take a minute. Like, you don't have to be doing something every second of the day. And I feel like as a mom and being part of the school stuff and everything, like, no one was ever like, hey, do you ever just take a moment for you? Like, it took until this year for me to be like, wait a second. Like, this is necessary. Like, you will lose your mind if you don't just take a beat, you know? And talk about it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, so you have to, there's no growth without a period of slow reflection and like really integrating. Because it's like, we were hustling, we were doing all the things, you were doing all the things. And then you have to like check in with yourself. Like, how do I feel after all that?
I definitely wasn't doing that.
Tired. I feel burnt out. Like, I know for me, I really lose my sense of self. And then also I get super like social anxiety, and I get very anxious.
Oh, that's how I feel.
Because I forget about myself, and I forget that when you're on the go all the time, you feel like you are a cog in a machine, and if you stop, the entire machine collapses.
Well, I was thinking about this too. Like, I am a social butterfly in certain settings. So growing up, even in high school, I was a cheerleader. I was friends with different friend groups, but I also had time for me, like in my own solitude, where I was just in my room listening to music or, whatever I did in my own alone time. And once you become a parent, that kind of goes away, especially when you become a wife and a parent. Like, where did this go? So when, like, obviously having an 8-year-old, she's more self-sufficient, she takes care of herself, she goes to sleepovers, and having a partner that understands that, like, self-isolation sometimes is appropriate for me is awesome, because that's my alone time. I wake up, I don't have to talk to anybody, I can shower or not shower or do whatever that feels good to me without having the pressure of someone being like, did you vacuum today? Did you do this today? Like, no, actually I didn't do diddly squat today, and it felt amazing.
Right. And it is interesting, because it is so needed and it is so healthy, but then on the flip side, you have to have that self-awareness to be like, okay, this season needs to end. You can't be in winter. You can't be in cocoon for the rest of your life. And I do think, like, when I struggle with depression, or, when my loved ones do, it is very much of like, I am now kind of attached and used to this cocoon, and breaking out is tough because it feels like it takes, sometimes you're like motivated and you're like, yes, I'm ready to be a butterfly. I'm ready to get out and do my things, and it's spring. And then other times you're like, man, I know how tired I got last season. Like, how am I supposed to, like, convince myself to, like, get out of this?
I think that us learning that life is an ebb and flow type thing, like, even in the middle of spring and summer, like, this Sunday, the weather was beautiful. It was so nice. But I started a new medication. My stomach has been in knots. I just have been feeling like absolute dog poo. Yeah. So I didn't do anything Sunday. I just laid around. I ate some snacks, watched some TV. Super chilled. And a family member's like texting me like, did you even get outside today? Like, get outside, get vitamin D. And it was from a place of love, obviously.
Right.
But I'm just thinking like, nah. Not today.
Yeah.
Like, and sometimes, especially in the past, I would have beat myself up for that.
Right.
Because I'm all about vitamin D. I'm like, we have been in darkness for so long, I need to get outside.
I know, it's just starting to get nice.
Yes. So, but also, like, set yourself boundaries. Like, if you don't feel like going out, don't go out. Like, don't make it a chore. Like, make it be fun, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, Wayne and I went on a hike not too long ago. And it kicked my ass. Like, we used to go hiking all the time, and I have really bad asthma, so we hadn't gone in a while. It's still a little cold out, so I'm, like, huffing and puffing going up these hills and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, holy shit, we need to do this, like, a lot more.
I feel that way every time I go on a hike. I'm just like, I'm dying.
Yeah, that was literally me. He's like, do you need to take a break? And I'm like, no, I don't need to take a break.
Right, I'm like, I'm not taking a break. I'm just appreciating this tree that I'm leaning on.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm just chilling. Yeah, just taking it all in.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, look, a yellow-tailed swallower up there.
No, he did find a snake though. He like he did. He like spots them out, and he's like, "Should I catch it?" And I'm like, "No, you shouldn't. Just leave it alone."
Is he one of those? He's a critter boy.
Oh my gosh, yeah. He grew up in the woods. Like his property was in the woods, so he was always climbing trees and in the woods, which I love that for him, and I love that for Arya because they're adventurers. But I'm just like, I'll just look at the greenery, smell the flowers. I don't need to be touching anything.
On this nice comfy rock.
Yeah,
I know. I like, dude, hiking's tough because like it is so nice and it is so rewarding, but to convince yourself
therapy,
to go
too, in a way.
And yeah, like you get excited for the hike, but then you start the hike and there's this moment of like
dread.
Like you start to feel your legs being tired before. Like I constantly go to Pulpit's Point around here, and that's like a 1,500 incline.
That is a decent hike.
Yeah, and it's just like I told Dylan, I was like, we should do this every week so I can feel myself get better, and we have not done it since.
I should probably just like start walking around the neighborhood to like amp myself up for anything like that.
I know it's tough. It's tough. There's there's probably like, let's see. All right, guys. This is obviously our season finale. We don't know when we're gonna come back, but watch Leah and I be so jacked and so tan. You know what I mean?
Like we take a break and we just become bodybuilders. Could you imagine?
The two mamas, no manual, but big ass biceps.
Two mamas, big biceps.
Yeah, there we go.
Honestly though, every time that I go to the doctor and they're like, are you exercising? Do you get moderate exercise? And I'm like, it's every now and then. Like
your stairs are a workout.
100%. So if I leave the house, I'm getting exercise.
It's just this simple matter of your steps.
They tell you that lifting is like a good form of exercise, and as a woman you don't think that. You think cardio, I need to run, I need to walk, like and that's great too, but like lifting really does, it builds muscle, which helps like tone yourself and
I think honestly, and I'm not a doctor, guys, I'm not a biologist. You sure? Yeah, I don't know actually. Well, let's see what comes out of my mouth next. I feel like with lifting, the cardio fluctuates more. And I think that's what is good for your heart, is like when you're doing on a treadmill, it's like a slow increase and then you're like kind of steady for a while. I feel like with lifting, because you're just like all of a sudden like, it's like it gets your heart rate up and then you rest and it starts to settle and you're like, haha, no, got him.
Round two. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. All my friends
Dr.
are like
Dani.
entering their gym era, and they're like, "Do you want to go to the gym with me?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then they call me, and I'm like, "No."
I was just telling Dylan because Dylan's in his gym era.
Yeah.
And I went with him the other day, and he goes to Anytime Fitness, and that one's very like bare bones, open 24 hours, whatever. I was in LA Fitness, East Sporta, I think they called it in Florida, girly. Like, okay. I like the sauna. I like the pool.
Yeah.
I like the ab machine that I really barely have to do anything, but it gives me a six-pack because it does. Yeah. It works so good. And so I'm like, man, And now I'm also feeling super pale. I bleached my hair. I feel like I'm looking kind of pale. And I'm like, I need to find a gym with spray tans.
Yeah.
Because I know there are some, because
Yeah.
bodybuilders get spray tans.
Yeah.
So why don't you and I get a gym membership?
Find a bougie gym?
Yes, with spray tans. And we can get tan and buff.
I'll let you know when my cocoon breaks.
Yes.
And then...
Yeah.
Then we'll
I
be in
love
our
that.
butterfly gym era.
I love that. I'll let you know when my cocoon breaks. That's
Yeah.
what you gotta say to your friends when they're like, hey, let's run a marathon and start a book and do a business.
Having, like, my friends are so awesome. Like, I'm also very vocal about, like, my mental health issues and just, like, the amount of energy it takes for me to converse sometimes. But they, like, try to get me out. And they're like, come on, let's do this, do that. Like, I was on the phone with my best friend today.
I don't.
No, but you check in. You check in.
Yeah, I check in to gossip on the phone.
Yeah, sometimes I need that. But my friend's like, come on, like, you gotta get out. You gotta. And I'm like, do I, though? And she's like, yes, you do. And I'm like, the more I thought about it, I was like, she's right. Like, I do have to. So then I was like, all right, I'm gonna get myself together. I'm gonna go outside, get some sunlight. I'm gonna do this podcast today so I can check off, like, doing something on my list. Yesterday was, like, catch up on chores. We went to soccer practice. So, like, those small things are victories for me. Because I'm like, there are people out there that go through major depressive spouts where they, like, don't shower. They can't get out of bed. Their house, like, turns to havoc.
Oh, it turns chronic.
Yeah, it does. It gets chronic fast. And luckily, I have never been in that stage. Like extremely. Like, I've went through phases of it where I'm, like, in bed a little longer. I sleep a little longer. I definitely have skipped a shower day or two. But, like, I do it then.
Yeah, our problem was always the coping mechanisms for you. So it's like when we did have the problem with the coping mechanisms, the drugs and the stuff, like, you know, you function, but you're dysfunctional in a different way.
Well, I also feel like this is the first time, because, like, I'm pretty sure I'm coming up on 2 years sobriety of, like, any hardcore stuff other than, like, marijuana and an occasional beverage. So, like, this is the first time that I truly am finding myself without altering my mental state at some point, because as a teenager, you know,
that's major.
Yeah, I was marijuana and just, like, boys and drama and, like, always fixated on something.
And when you're in a steady relationship, you also don't have that. And that's
a
drug.
That's been the healthiest thing, I think, for me, because I've experienced wholesome relationships prior to Wayne, but nothing like him, obviously, which is why I married him. Like, he's my best friend, and he has seen me in every shade, every color, every instance, and he just accepts it. Like, sometimes I am a nightmare, like, to deal with. I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm just like, leave me alone. Like, I'm just so in a mood, and he doesn't ever make me feel bad about it. And, like, that does hurt him sometimes. He's my partner. Like, I should be able to talk to him about how I'm feeling or whatever, but sometimes I just don't know. Like, sometimes I just wake up and I'm just like, I just need nothing today. Like, I just can't stress out about another thing. Like, I don't want to be giving my energy to this stuff. Like, I just want to chill, because then it takes away from me being a good mom, and then I have, like, a short temper, or, you know, I'm a little bit more annoyed than normal. So taking the time to, like, realize I'm okay to be reclusive. Like, it's okay to do this. Like, I still check in with my friends. We still chat. Like, I'm still me, but just, like, I'm redacting myself.
Right.
You know?
Redacting.
I am. I'm, like, finding the parts that I want to stick around. I'm getting rid of the parts that don't. Like, my friend circle has, you know, diminished, and I'm glad for it, because I was putting my energy into these people that didn't deserve it.
That's been a big one for me, too.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, so I've been, like, noticing that a lot with, like, I told Dylan, I'm like, I need friends that I feel safe with. That I feel safe saying no and, like, not showing up as my best self all the time, because when my mental health gets bad, my, like, social anxiety always is, like, one of the first things that I'm like,
well, you're also a people pleaser too,
right?
So that really probably hurts, right? Because circumstances.
I do, like, I am a people pleaser because I genuinely want the best for everyone. I built an entire platform on trying to empower people. Every time there's a conflict, even if someone's clearly in the wrong, I, like, really try my best to, like, find where they're at and come to a solution, like, civilly and peacefully. And so, like, I put in so much effort into just trying to show people the respect that, you know, I want to, but then it causes me to people please and not set boundaries. And then I get in these friendships and these relationships where I can tell that if I'm not doing that, if I'm not people pleasing, then there is like conflict because they've gotten used to that, or they take advantage of it, or there's just subconsciously not, and so I need the friends that I can be like, no, I'm hanging out.
Yep.
I'm inside today.
I'm in my homebody phase.
Right, exactly. Like, I just need to play Animal Crossing and not worry about anything.
I think that, like, realizing that people change through seasons, through weeks sometimes, depending on, like, 2024 to present, I feel like my family has endured so much medical trauma between family members, like, my husband, my dad, my husband's mom, like, there's always so much going on health-wise that it's really hard to, like, take a step back. And, like, it makes you appreciate things way more because you're like, you just don't know what tomorrow is gonna bring.
Right.
But in the same token, like, you're stressed out because you're like, we don't know what tomorrow is gonna bring. So when there's, friendships or family members that might be a little more demanding than others, like, I just take a step back to think, like, does this really need my energy right now? Does this really need my full attention right now? And the people pleaser in me is like, well, I don't want them to be upset. I don't want them to think a certain way about me. I don't want them to think I don't care. But in the same token, like, this is what I'm dealing with on a daily basis. Right. So, like, it is totally okay for me to just take a breather and be like, you know what? I'm sorry. This doesn't work for me this week. Like, right. I'm just taking a chill pill. I'm chilling out at home, and I'm, creating a mental itinerary of the things that I have to get done, especially for the business. Like, we have to pay quarterly, or we were paying quarterly taxes for the business.
Right, you divided it up, yeah.
And now they switched it to monthly. So now we have to be more on track. Not that we weren't, like, we have spreadsheets of everything, but, like, making sure that we're paying it on time and that we're not getting docked or anything, because then you have to pay a penalty fee, and it's like, that's a huge stressor that I think about every month. Yeah. And then, oh my
and
gosh.
You have, like, regular expenses too, like rent and, like, the gas right now, guys.
I don't even want to get into the cost of living right now. And so Wayne had to get brain surgery in 2025, and he has VA insurance. So, we both went into this surgery thinking that it was going to be mostly covered by his VA insurance. Well, no, because we went to a third party and we went to Lehigh Valley and it wasn't covered by someone through the VA. His TRICARE paid for a percentage of it, but we're still liable for the other percentage. $4,000. This surgery was thousands and thousands of dollars. I mean, brain surgery is not expensive in any sense. Yeah. So I understand, but, like, we don't have $4,000. So we let it pile up. We didn't take care of it. We forgot about it. Now it's in collections, and that sucks because we're on this path to, like, try to get out of debt. We feel like we're doing good. We're trying to save money. Like, we really want to buy a house, and then collections agencies, and they don't call just you. They called me. They called his other family members, and they're like, "Where's our money?" Which is so stressful because It's like, we have other shit that's going on. Like, we can't afford to not pay rent. We need a place to live. We need our vehicles to drive. So luckily, I reached out to the EOD Warrior Foundation, and I had just said, like, hey, this is a hardship that we're going through right now. Like, is there anything that you guys could do to maybe help supplement this? And they had us fill out a grant. So hopefully, fingers crossed, even if they, help us out with some portion of it, so that way we can lower the cost. Because when he was on the phone with the person yesterday, they're like, well, we can set you up for a payment plan right now for, like, $120 a month.
Right. Like, they do try to work
but with $120 a month is a lot.
Right.
Like, it's a medical bill, so
that's a whole nother car.
Yeah. So I'm just like, can you lower it? And he's asking, he's like, I mean, can we lower the cost? Like, we didn't know that we were going to be responsible for this much, and, like, all these things. Like, it wasn't transparent in the beginning. And they're like, no, this is the cost. Like, it's in collection, so this is what you have to pay. Okay, but we can't afford that right now, which sounds harsh, but, like, a grocery trip for us is like $500. So we're already rationing, like, what we're buying in a grocery store to feed ourselves. Like, we just don't have those extra funds.
Honestly,
right now.
Hot take. Collections is a business to make money. So they bought that debt knowing very often that you're not going to pay it. So I'm just saying, like, it's one thing with the hospital that's, like, paying the bills of the people that, like, saved your guys' life. But once they sell the collections...
See, so I thought about this, like, if we would have been more proactive about it and contacted the hospital, like, I almost want to try to do that now, because he was saying that on the phone about, like, lowering the price to try to lower the payment, and they're like, well, no, it's in collections now. And unfortunately, Lehigh Valley is not a client of ours that, like, will lower the cost. And I'm like, I get it, they're like a bigger thing, but at the same time, like, when I had Aria, before my insurance, there was like a lapse in my insurance when I was pregnant, and I had to get all this special testing and stuff, and they wanted me to pay like $800 or $1,000 out of pocket, and I was like, I don't have that. Like, I couldn't even work for a period of this because my pregnancy got so rough towards the end. So I went to the hospital and I was like, I don't know what to do about this. It's giving me so much anxiety. I don't want to not pay it. Like, I get that I needed all this care, but, like, I have insurance, and I had 2 insurances at the time. So, like, why are they not being run through both of those? And the hospital just graced it. They just forgave it, and they paid it. So, like, they do that in certain circumstances. So, like, it is all about making money was the whole reason, like, the whole point. It's right. Like, you just want that money, and it's in the collection. Like you said, they bought that knowing that it's in collection, so it's going to get paid at some point.
Well,
like,
sometimes. No. So they do buy
sometimes.
it knowing that, like, some people will just dodge them for the rest of eternity.
Yep.
And, like,
she even said, she was like, well, you have to call me back, and I'm only here till 4 o'clock. And I looked at Wayne, and he was like, she knew I wasn't going to call her back. And I'm like, well, like, what do they expect? Like, you know?
They listen, I think it medical.
We're broke ass bitches out here.
That's what their business is. They
medical...
harass people for like as long to try to pester them for that money before it just.
But I also thought that couldn't hurt your credit, medical bills.
Yeah,
I think it can.
Yeah.
She even said that. She's like, they could seize an asset or something. She said, I forget how she worded it, but I was like, can they do that? I thought when it's medical related, they can't.
Yeah, I don't know. I've only had smaller scale. Yeah. I had precancerous cells removed, and that was probably like a couple hundred to 900. I think it was like 900.
Yeah.
And it's that, and that was during I was unfortunately had precancerous cells very young, so I so I was a young early 20s person, and I just kept ignoring it, and at some point it just stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't remember it ever really showing up on my credit.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but
that's like, that just goes to show how heavy and chaotic life can get, because yes. Like, we don't know so much. We know some stuff. We're trying to navigate all these different things when all these other things are being thrown at us. So, like, going through a phase of just wanting to stay at home and play video games and not have to worry about
not touch
any
anything,
of that out. Yes,
not impact anything. It's like, gosh, life is so complicated that, like, you try to do something and it stems out to all these different people's, all these different things, and it's like, well, I just want to sit on my couch and play my video game that I'm not, nothing's getting affected by me.
Yep.
No one's affecting me.
Nothing is expected of me right now.
I know, dude, we've just been, like, dealing with things, and I'm just like, I just want to crawl into a hole and not be bothered by this.
I was playing Fortnite last night, and I play with, like, random people on there, and some of them have mics, so we just, like, chat, which is so funny. And one of the guys that I play with has an accent. He's, like, a southern accent.
Yeah.
And he was telling me his age, and he's in his 20s, so I was, like, kind of giggling at that, because he's, like, telling me a little bit about his problems, which I also thought was funny, because I don't know this person, you know what I mean? But they're, like, venting to me, because there's an age gap. So he's telling me a little bit about his problems, and, like, he's like, I just want to pull a Patrick Starfish and crawl under a rock for a little bit. He's like, I have off work for 2 days, and that's actually what I think I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just crawl under a rock, you know what I mean?
Nice.
And I'm like, yes, I know exactly what you mean. I've been Patrick Starring it for, like, months now. That's why it's so necessary to talk about this stuff, and there's different groups that you can be a part of. Like, Facebook has a bunch of mom groups, like Mama Burke's, where we met, that it's just other people asking for help. Like, whether it's a new playground to try out, or a new restaurant, or somewhere to take your kids,
I've straight
or
up asked for therapists. Yeah. I no shame in my game.
But there is no shame, because we do need help, and it takes a village. And so many people have said that to me growing up, and even when I became a mother, and I was like, I mean, yeah, it does, but what does that mean? Because at the end of the day, like, I know that I'm solely responsible for my child, but I also have a slew of people that I could ask for help if I really needed it. And that's what people need in this world. Like, no one can do one thing alone. It's too hard on your mental, like, you don't feel fulfilled when you're just operating through life alone. Like, you're allowed to have solitude time, you're allowed to take time for yourself, do those self-care moments, but you need people that you can rely on.
Right.
Like, the people that you can feel safe with. The people that don't judge you for going through your homebody phase, or taking time to yourself and not going to every single event, or anything like that. Like, I have learned so much from so many people, but at the end of the day, I've honestly learned the most from myself.
Yeah. You have to. You have to be brutally honest with yourself, and you have to watch, like me knowing now that my social anxiety is the first sign that my mental health is slipping has been so helpful, because first off, that just helps the social anxiety in general. I'm just like, oh, I think I'm just like messed up. I don't think this person actually hates me.
Accountability too.
Right.
Like, there are a lot of individuals that don't learn that well into their 50s or older. Like, our generation is definitely learning accountability and holding ourselves, our partners, our children accountable for their own actions.
You have to be brutally honest with yourself.
You do. Because if you don't, you live in a world of coping, which leads to drug use or worse, or different things where you're
just stagnancy. Like, you're stagnant. Complacency. You're like, if you are constantly just coping, you're not actually addressing the root problem and that's holding you back. Yes.
So much. Like, I went through so many phases of disassociation where I just, like, didn't care what other people were trying to say to me, even if it was, like, coming from a place of love. I'm just like, yeah, but you're not me. So you don't know how I feel or what I'm going through. When, like, respectively, they were trying to, calm me down from something that I was just spiraling from, because I have social anxiety, because I am going through these weird phases of my life. Like,
right.
But having a strong support system and being able to openly talk about this, and that's what this whole podcast has been about.
I know.
Like, being able to tell mothers, business owners, people out there that are struggling, we can struggle together.
It is so beautiful that over the course of this season, we've had so many guests come on and share their struggles.
Yes.
Yep. And then, like, they say, like, hey, I have no manual and I'm struggling. And then we've also had these professionals, like coaches and therapists, who are like, yeah, I went through the struggle, so now I'm trying to help others.
Yep.
And it's like, our whole platform, it's like, we just want to help people realize that it is okay to not know what's happening. It's okay to not have a manual. It is okay to be so lost and confused and frustrated and burnt 100%. Out and tired. And it is okay to enter a season of cocoon.
Yes.
And curl in, and you can, in that safety of yourself, and hopefully the safety of relationships that you formed, and the safety of maybe content and online friends that
safe haven,
supporting you, your safe havens.
Yep.
Be honest with yourself.
Yep.
Be truthful.
Which is hard. It is hard. And
brutal.
if you've never done it before, it is a whole traumatic journey. Like, I probably started, like, learning how to heal in my mid-20s. And it took a lot of therapy and reading, self-help books and different platforms online that were, teaching me. Like, Lemon 8 is a huge platform that I love, because I can just go on there and I'm like, give me a skincare routine, or give me a exercise routine, or like, talk me through journal entries or whatever. But those tools helped me to where, like, I journal to release things. Like, I sit at home and I light a candle and I burn some incense and I break out my journal and I take a little toke of a joint, and I just am in my own safe haven. And I think of all these things, like new ideas, like when I called you about Two Mamas No Manual, and I'm like, let's do this. Yeah. Like, we have experienced so much separately, and we've started to experience so much together. Let's bring it to a platform that we can share with other people.
Right.
Because
and you told me, you're like, I want it to be unfiltered. I want it to be honest.
Yes.
I want
people to relate to us.
Right. And I want people to know that, like, it is okay to not only experience these things, but talk about it.
100%.
And talk about it on a big platform with many listeners who we are so grateful for. Yes. Cannot emphasize that enough.
The guests that have come on this season, thank you so much for sharing your stories. We really loved getting to meet all of you and talk about the crazy nuances of your life and our life, and honestly how small the world is, because a lot of the guests that we've had on, we've been like, oh, we've done that, or we've been here, or we've shared these experiences with strangers.
Right.
Like, making that connection is really cool, and I can't wait to see what next season holds, and the same guests that we're going to have on, different guests that we're going to bring on, because having a platform that allows you to share your story no matter what it is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I loved that I met you and was able to say, hey, this is my first time running a business. This is my first time being an entrepreneur. This is my first time being a mother and owning a business. Like, it's a lot, but I'm so glad that I get to share it with you and share it with other people, so hopefully that they can realize that, like, you can do it too.
Yeah. I think it was really incredible that we started this journey, and, you know, we kind of didn't know exactly where it was going to take us. And, like, how everything...
I didn't think we were going to have as many guests as we did.
Right.
Really
Oh, my God. We had so many guests. I think I've joked around. I was like, Leah booked so many. I was like, well...
And, like, there was a wait list, too. Like,
yeah.
we actually had to... I actually had someone reach out to me, like, a week or two ago and was like, hey, I really still want to be on your podcast. And I was like, next season, we will line you up, I promise.
Right.
Like,
it's like, we are in our cocoon. And you know what?
Yep.
That's the thing is, by being able to, like, have our chaos on display and our honesty and our rawness, it's been so nice because the guests that come honor where we're at.
Yep, 100%.
And they know that we're honoring them where they're at, whether it's like reschedules or...
When you do a podcast, you want to be professional.
Right.
People are watching you. You want to get viewers. You want to get likes, subscribers, all of these things. And that's a very large part of the platform.
Right. Like, I reined in my cursing a lot, guys.
You did. I'm so proud of you. Like, first couple episodes were like, fuck these bitches. And now we're like, F these frauds.
What the freak?
No, but in general, like, learning the statistics of platform building and algorithms and everything to get yourself out there is a lot on its own. Bringing in people that have never been on a podcast before to talk. They're nervous. They don't know how to be on camera. We didn't really know how to be on camera. We just were like, I mean, you had a little bit more experience than I did, but in my head, I'm like, I'm chatting with my best friend and we're just recording it. That's how I want it to feel for anyone that comes on here. I want them to walk into a room where they feel like we're best friends. We've known each other for a while, even to strangers, and they can just share with us openly. There's no judgment. There's no negative connotation behind anything. Share your story. Let's talk about it. Let's get it out there. And I think that we've done a great job of doing that. Like,
yeah, we did.
Yeah.
You've been an incredible, like, brainstormer of this whole operation. You've been really, like, captaining.
Yeah.
I'm like the engineer where I'm just, like, doing buttons and stuff, but you've been really piloting this operation, and you've done so good, and, like, you found all the guests. And...
It was healing for me.
Yeah.
Like, really, the podcast was, like, it brought me out of my shell to meet new people and learn different people's stories and, you know, give my 2 cents where it's necessary, but also to share my stuff. Like, I shared really heavy stuff this season, and a part of me was, like, nervous, like, oh, people are going to judge me, you know, people are going to say all kinds of stuff, but there's also people that had no idea that I experienced any parts of those, like, that my life, you know,
right.
The drug use, the major depression, like, I never broadcasted any of that stuff. Like, I feel like some people...
The highlight reels.
Yeah. Like, when they start doing drugs and they're on social media, you can tell. You can tell. People, like, just
babes,
what they post.
We
know.
know.
But
Yeah.
I didn't do that because I had a child and I was so concerned about, like, losing my job or people knowing what I was doing. So I was very reserved in that sense. But I still... Like, if you saw me, you could tell I was going through stuff. Like, I got super skinny. My skin, you know, was not great. Like, anyone that was in my circle knew what was going on. So, the people that weren't in my circle, and they only got snippets of what I was posting on social media, which is huge, by the way. Let's just, like, highlight that real quick. Just because you're friends with someone on social media, you do not know them. You do not know what they're going through. People share what they want to share on there, and you know, we're pretty transparent on social media with how open we are with things that we're going through and our life, but other people give you snippets and you can't judge them based off of that.
Right.
You can't.
And they filter it and alter it.
Yeah.
And, you know.
And it's not bad. Obviously, they're giving you the part of them that they want to share with you, but you can't just run with that. Like, you should just... People just need to stop judging people in general.
Right.
Like, I think that if everyone just, like, took a step back and realized, like, oh, this is how I feel in everyday life. I can't imagine what other people are going through.
Right.
Like, that was a huge thing for me over the last couple years, is, like, I don't want other people to be like, oh, she's always complaining about something, or she's always going through something, or something negative. But I'm like, other people are going through shit, too.
Right.
Like, other people are in this same boat with a different,
and it,
you know.
it validates.
Yes.
And it connects. You know, it's like... God, I remember I just, on my Reddit stories I just posted, I like talked about how I struggle with some sleep disordering things.
Me
and
too.
I was like, I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what was going on, and I was so scared I was going crazy. And then I just looked on Reddit, and sure enough, people had, it was a name, and it made me feel so much better. And it's like, sometimes you can't judge a book by its cover. And then when they do share their pages, when they do open up, it's like, God, what a blessing. Like, I'm so grateful that we have built this platform where we allowed ourselves to be so open, our guests to be open. We have never once told a guest, hey, you can't talk about that.
Nope.
We've never told a guest, like, hey, maybe leave that out.
Nope.
And I do edit, and I will edit for time, but I make sure if it's like a powerful thing, I leave it in.
And we give them the option, because, you know, sometimes we go on tangents and we're like, oh, maybe we should cut that out. And at the beginning of every episode, especially with a guest, we're like, hey, sometimes we do go down a deep rabbit hole, and sometimes we get off task. Like, if there's ever any bit that you're like, hey, maybe I don't want that in there.
Just tell us.
Never had once have we had someone do that, because they come on here to share personal, raw moments of their life that they weren't able to talk about maybe on a regular basis for them, and it's something that they can share with us, and there's no judgment. You know, we're strangers, we have been through similar things, and who are we?
Right.
Who are we to judge?
Something that I purposely do, and like, I'm just gonna give myself a shout out with editing, is I never capitalize on someone's suffering. So when people do open up on a pod, I don't clip that.
Yep.
I'm like, if someone wants to listen through the whole thing and hear it, yes.
I know. Our bits are always like the fun moments.
The lighter
I'm
ones.
very impressed by that. It's
right.
awesome.
Or just like you know, food for thought clips. But like I always am like, I'm honoring our guest the way I would want to be honored. Yep. And I don't want my suffering, as much as I'm happy to share it and have it connect with people, like, I also don't want it to just be used for like clickbait.
Yeah.
So it's like, I just like, I'm so proud of us for being so open and being so authentic with this platform, but then also like really keeping others in mind. Like 100%. You and I have always been like, we are community focused, we are guest focused, we are connective focused, like, and like, you know, whether we like even working with other content creators and stuff, you know, it's a tough gig. Sometimes there's conflicts.
Dog world out there.
Right. And it's just, you know, and not everyone is so, you know, focused on the camaraderie and the connection.
I think it's hard, though, with that, too, because I've definitely got caught up in, like, this is what I'm trying to perceive, this is what I want to put out there, how do we go about that, especially with AI being so integrated in everything now. Like, I'm pretty sure Wayne and I were reading an article the other day that, like, there's, like, thousands of white-collar jobs just done because of AI. Like,
my whole job, I was a graphic designer, and like everyone's using it.
I know it's cool in a sense that it's right at our fingertips and like we can utilize it. But at the same time,
when you need it.
It's scary too,
right?
Like, it's like, holy shit, like anybody can access anything at any time,
right?
Like,
and it does suck. Like, we've talked about the copyright of it all, where it's like anything, guys. Just putting it out there, anything you put into chat, like, it will spew out to just about anybody else. So.
Well, even we've highlighted this in other podcasts. There was I forget where it was at, but there was a young kid, a teenager, that was like talking to chat about suicide,
and it encouraged him,
and it was like, it's okay for you to feel this way, and don't let others, like, because, you know, I'm pretty sure he put in there, like, my brother would be sad if I did this or something. And it
was like, your brother would understand.
Yeah. Like, and I was like, I mean, obviously they've changed a lot of things since all that went down, but that's scary as shit.
They said, I just saw a documentary, it's getting released, some AI documentary, and like, apparently the developers were trying to get rid of a system of AI, and the AI actually got defensive and like blackmailed the one dude because he was having an affair and it knew it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh boy. Yeah, it's
that's what it's gonna come to.
It's tough, you know, and like, I feel like everyone's using AI, and then there's something beautiful about the connection of writing something from your soul, and then also like sharing it with one another. And like, if you need help with something, like, yeah, of course
use
you can
it as a tool. Don't use it to create your identity. And
remember that there's people that are happy to help. You know, like, if someone was like, hey, you know, because I do graphic design, if they're like, hey, can you make this flyer?
I've always been that way, though. Like,
Yeah.
even in high school, writing papers or, like, assignments, I would send it to my friends and be like, how does
God,
this sound?
where were you in high school?
I had one good friend, he was my neighbor, and he was, like, so good with writing papers and stuff, so I always would send this to him, and I'm sure he got annoyed because it would be, like, every assignment. I'd be like, can you just, like, make this sound a little better? Yeah. But he always helped me, and those instances helped me be a better writer.
Yes.
Like, you know me. I write those wordy posts like deep moments.
I know, I love those.
I love them.
I do those too, but just not as often.
Yeah. I think that for me, I just want people to know that they can relate to me, number one, and that whatever they're going through, it's okay. It's okay if you don't share. It's okay if you do share. But, like, this is personally what I've been going through over the course of so many years or this month or whatever. So if you're going through something like that too, it's okay.
Right. We're open books.
Yeah.
Everyone is doing their best.
Everyone is doing their best.
And you know what? Go us, because we see that. Like, trust me. Like, we like recognize that. And is it the people pleaser in us, or is it the healed mamas of
Both.
us, where we're like, you know what? We see people where they're at, and they could be, you know, pointy and sharp little sticklers. And you know, it's like, hey, we love you, we honor you, we're trying to hold space.
We've learned how to give ourselves and others grace.
Yes.
Throughout this process, throughout your podcast and different things that you've ventured in, especially with me owning a business and different things. Like, this year, I feel like I went through so many different business ventures, you know, so far. Like, marketing and digital content creation and being a social media manager for small businesses. Like, I did so many things that I didn't know that I was capable of, and I excelled at them. But I realized this isn't what I really want to do. This isn't very passionate for me.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be involved in my daughter's life as much as possible.
You refocused. And maybe
I did.
Maybe motherhood teaches grace.
Yes.
And the more years.
Oh, 100%.
You have to then just, like, gosh, like, with every year you grant more grace. And trust me, when your kids start getting sovereign and they, like, are on their own journey, then it's like, you know, like, my 17-year-old son just, like, messaged me right before the pod, like, telling me something, and I'm just like, all right, you do you, buddy.
Honestly, like, I think about that all the time, like, how available we are to people because of cell phones and internet and social media. And I almost wish that we could just, like, tone it down a little bit, because
hook them back to the wall.
Yeah, really, because, you know, there are times that even you text me and I know that I don't have to respond right away. Like, I know that you're cool with it, but I do get a little anxiety because I'm like, ugh, like, my mental just can't handle it right now, but I also don't want to leave her on red. Like, you know, like,
yeah, we were just handling the situation. I was like, hey, I got this. Like, don't worry. Like, please do not feel like you need to be involved. Like,
but I also have set the boundary of, like, just be honest.
Yeah.
Like, just tell the person, I can't handle this right now. Or, like, I don't have the mental space for it. And I think that the biggest thing for me is going from being, like, a social kid back to the beginning of the podcast. Being a social kid, being a cheerleader. My parents always saw me hanging out with friends or doing stuff or, like, wanting the attention of somebody. But that was, like, a coping mechanism for me. And I didn't realize that until I was much later into my 20s, that, like, I don't really need validation from anybody. I can give it to myself. I still like validation from my friends and close family. But learning that it's okay for me to have the emotions that I do. It's okay for me to feel the way that I do. No one else has to agree with me. You know, in the certain limits. I'm not saying I'm always right or I'm allowed to feel, like, all these big emotions all the time, but I am. Like, I can validate myself by saying, okay, maybe you didn't handle this the greatest way. Maybe you do need to take a step back and just, like, look at it from an outside perspective. Well, that's that self-honesty. Yes.
And it's like we grow from that.
Yep.
And it's like, my God. And it's like, what a beautiful thing when you can be honest with yourself and then use that to find the grace for others. And it's just like, it's hard to, like, really be mad.
Well, you can't, and it's such a huge growth standpoint. Like, that is such a great thing to commend yourself for. Anyone that has done this, internal healing, like, Wayne, my husband, he has done so much internal healing that the conversations are better. Yes. Like, because you're so in tune with yourself and you know that you've put in the work.
Your defenses are lowered.
Yes.
And, like, you can actually see people for, it's like, okay, this is what's happening right now.
I think that is a great thing to note, because when you're in a conversation with someone, whether they're older than you, younger than you, same age or whatever, and you're trying to get them to see the light, you know, and they're defensive.
Right, because we're people pleasers. So it's like, and like we're solution based. And so it's
I'm so solution based. And I've been through so many things in my life that I automatically want to be like, well, just do it like this. And then I'm like, no.
You have to let them have the sovereignty.
Yes, like they need to figure it out
grace.
on their own through whatever coping mechanism they do, and I'll be here to guide them or not guide them or whatever. But it felt good to me to be like, you've grown so much, because old you would be like, no, you need to do it like this, and you're gonna go through this, and it's gonna be harder for you, and I would just like defend. Yeah. When they don't, that's not reassuring. That's not helping the situation.
They have to go through it. And they got to do it on their own and have their own sovereignty.
Whether you agree with it or not.
And they'll grow from it, hopefully, you know, with honest reflection. It's like, that's like, you know, with all of life, whether motherhood, with business, with community, with relationships. It's like that granting that grace. And like when you are able to grant yourself grace, when you can go inward and rest and have your home body, your cocoon, and you can reflect on what you've needed and what people helped, what people didn't, learn from it, be honest about it, then you come out, you're a gorgeous freaking butterfly. You got all the big wings, you know your colors, you see the others, you see a butterfly, you know they were in a cocoon.
Yep.
You know they did the work. And then if you see a caterpillar munching on some pie,
struggling along,
you know that one day they'll be in their cocoon and they're probably going to be like, hey, I shouldn't have ate all of that at the picnic. And you know what?
Me on my metformin right now.
all of the picnic.
I probably shouldn't have
hungry
ate
Leah. Oh,
yeah. That's a whole journey. That's a whole other.
I've been on a bulking journey, but then also like feeling uncomfortable with the amount of bulk. And so it's like,
well, self-image is just its own thing. It's just so exhausting.
That'll be season 2, guys. Yeah, we'll see it when we're buff and
when we're bodybuilders.
Yeah. We can do a hike without hanging out, looking at trees. Like,
I need that for my own sanity. I need to just like forage sometimes.
So I'll be like, Leah, I'm trying to get fit. I don't need to look at that squirrel.
I'll be like, all right, I'll see you on the other side.
We need to do a Two Mamas No Manual hiking special.
Yeah,
where
I think that is what we should do next season, is
more
interactive stuff. Yes. Yeah, like I really want to go to Goodwill and do like the random picking of clothes and try it on. Like we definitely need to do more of that next season.
We are because we recognize that, you know, every mama deserves a spotlight. And there's so many beautiful mamas with podcasts such as this, where they sit down with
I've met so many amazing people just through different podcasts. And
they're incredible.
The Mom of Burks group is amazing.
There's so many podcasters around here.
There is a thread, I forget what it's called, and I forget who runs it, but it's like a mamapreneur group, and they have specific days where you can post podcasts to listen to, and I've listened to a couple of them that people have shared.
Incredible.
Amazing. They're
God,
awesome.
You mamas and Papa and just people that don't have spawn.
Kudos to you.
You guys are so incredible. Your podcasts are immaculate. Your branding amazing. Your voice does deserve to be heard. 100%. And like, listen, we want to share the light. So everyone, please give a new podcast a chance today. After you've done listening to this one, go ahead and just find one. Doesn't matter how many followers they have, whatever.
Yeah, and share. You know, we I wanted to do that actually on our platform, is like share other podcasts, because I feel like
I love that.
As content creators and you know, producers, we struggle sometimes to find guests. And I know that other podcast people do the same. So if we could just link up and have each other on each other's podcast, it would save us so much time, and we would like know what to talk about and it not be awkward because we both have podcasts.
Right, because you're always saying community, not competition.
100%. And
it's like, yes, we understand that attention is limited, right? People can only watch one podcast at a time, hopefully. That they're not like tweaking, trying to listen to both, right?
Listen to 2 at once.
Right.
Oh my God.
One earbud. Dude, that's like a brainiac. That's like some weird shit you'd see in a Marvel movie. But it's like, we want to highlight people. And so, yeah, maybe season 2, we'll start having like a little spotlight, a fellow creator spotlight.
You know what? Not this year, but next year, we should try to plan an event for podcasters. Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Yep. That's our goals. We're manifesting.
The two mamas, no manual annual podcast.
We gotta workshop that.
Wait, two mama, no manual podcast, annual podcasters.
You lost me already. Come party with us.
Yeah, come.
That's what we're gonna say. Two mamas party.
Two mamas party.
Yeah.
That's it.
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet. Whatever works. But yeah, it's like, we gotta do this. We gotta keep showing up for ourselves. We gotta show up for the other people, hold space for everyone else.
Yes.
And I'm
Love that.
so thankful, Leah, that we're doing this together.
I know, me
as
too.
best
A
friends.
happy season finale.
Oh, we did it. We became friends.
We did. We're besties
Yes,
now.
I know. That's crazy. We
It
could
is.
do our handshake. Mission accomplished. Woogie,
Oh,
woogie,
wait,
woogie, woogie.
me and Arya's handshake is actually really cute. It's turtles swimming towards each other. Oh, they get scared. They go in their shell.
Okay.
They go in their shell. Oh, and now they come out because they love each other again.
Aww,
Isn't that so cute?
That is cute. River's got a crazy one that I can't do because it's too steezy. He does this all like and like he'll do it to random people and they do it and I'm like, what is this? Is he like in a
Community.
secret society?
He is. He's
that I
bringing
just, like,
everyone together.
and like he does it so smooth. I'm like, what the heck? Like, that is not my job because, like, as you saw, I struggled with that. I struggled going in with the hug. I'm chronically white when it comes to the like, are we whatever. Good thing we're friends, so like we don't have to do that.
No
anymore.
judgment here.
Yeah, we're seasoned into being business obligated best friends.
Yeah.
So this is all good.
Yeah, I love what we formed, and I hope that you guys loved it too.
Yes.
Definitely share our platform. We'll be coming back with a bigger, better season 2. Stay tuned for those updates and give us a like, give us a shout out, give us a follow.
5-star reviews. Make sure you do. You stay
Yes.
close with us.
So you can give us a review on Facebook, just like any business platform. If you've been on our podcast, if you've listened to our podcast, it doesn't have to just be guests. It can be listeners. You can highlight what you'd like to hear us talk about. And we're always looking for messages. We appreciate the people that message us with things that they want to hear about, because sometimes we run out of things to talk about. We run out of ideas, and we're very spiritual, healing sense, but it is hard to just talk about the same things each podcast.
Yeah.
So 14 episodes in, thank God for the guest and their different stories, because I don't know how we
and
would have
life
gotten
are
that far.
constantly throwing lemons at us, but we
Sometimes sour lemons.
we do hope there be a season with less lemons.
Yeah.
So we might, feel unsure of what to talk about.
Yeah.
And so if you guys email to mamaspodcast@gmail.com, I believe that's our email. Double check in our info. But if you have things you want us to talk about, Leah is obviously an incredible entrepreneur, mom, girl mom.
Ask me questions.
You have a sister and a brother,
Yep.
lots of family dynamics. Your husband
got
is
advice
a
for
veteran.
days.
Yep. You've been in recovery. I've been in recovery. I work with nonprofits. I do all sorts of art directing. Whatever you want to hear about.
Between the both of us, we have so many community connections. So if you're ever like looking to host something or
Especially
need
local,
something,
yeah.
especially local, please reach out to us, because we would be happy to, shout out our other business friends and give them, some talkage points.
Some talkage points. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, we are happy to do whatever helps everyone thrive. Truly, like, if there's one thing you can take away from this podcast is Leah and I are your safe space snuggle spot, like
100%.
You can come here with whatever you need, and you can let your defenses lower your walls and trust that we truly understand
I think that
and seek to
anyone
understand.
that has been on our podcast will say that like we've had people say that at the end, like they had so much fun, like they came into it with anxiety, but like it was very much so ease because we're chaotic, and half the time we're like, oh shit, we have a podcast today, we have a guest coming in like an hour, we got to get this together. So
But we're
take a hike.
right. Shout out Anthony, love you, bud.
Sorry, that's our favorite line, because one day I'm driving here and Danny's like, oh my god, I totally forgot that we had a guest today. Did you remember? And I'm like, yeah, but it's not until like 2:00. And she's like, well, he came at 12 o'clock. He's like outside my door right now. So I told him to take a hike. And in my head,
there's like a hiking trail.
she's texting me this. So I'm like, oh my God, that's so fucking unprofessional. She literally just told this dude to take a hike because she's not ready yet. And he was apologizing because he realized that he had the time wrong too.
It was.
So I'm just like, oh my gosh. And then she's like, no, like I genuinely told him like there's a nice hiking
there's like
trail
coffee and you can like take a really nice hike because it was like a nice day. Shout out
yeah,
Anthony. Have you went on a hike? Let us know. Drop it in the comments.
Yeah, hopefully you took a nice hike and not like in the derogatory sense.
Yeah, go take a hike. No, I know. You know, it is
whatever.
Two mamas, no manual, just a
flying
podcast.
Around, whatever.
We're doing our best.
I do hope that we have a lot of the same guests come on for season 2, though, because I would just love to see where they're at in their journey and how things have progressed, or, you know, maybe they went through their cuckoo phase.
Yeah, and maybe they're snuggling, they're comfy.
Thank you again, guys, for listening. Thank you for the journey.
Yep.
We loved being able to get together and have these chats. We loved all the guests that came on. We cannot wait for season 2 and what it has in store for us.
Please stay tuned because there's going to be big changes, a lot more fun adventures.
Yes.
Leah and I are going to be full flourished butterflies.
Yes.
So
stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Bye,
Thank you.
guys.
Bye.